Hey everyone, Brian McCarthy here again from Central Floral Supplies. So we're here in Kay's Flower School with Deirdre and Janette. So we're doing some arrangements here with hat boxes.
Yeah.
Got some nice assortment of pink flowers here, and Janette has lined the boxes here with some cellophane, 2 layers of cellophane and a few bricks of Oasis. So you'll be able to go into your local florist and they'll supply you with all these goods. The flowers, the accessories. So Janet, what are we?
So something simple that people can copy at home.
Yeah.
As you said, they can get the boxes in their local flower shop, 2 sheets of cellophane to line it, and a block and a half, 2 blocks of Oasis, and that's it. So really easy, a selection of flowers. So the lids of the box, what I've actually done is I've made some support wires, you see on the inside of them.
Yeah.
So just using some green gutta tape and 20 gauge wire, so I'll just actually demonstrate how I did that. So this is our green pull and roll, pull and roll,
Okay.
pull and roll, and cover the wires.
Yeah.
Now some people will say, oh, you're supposed to do 2 wires together at the same time. For bridal, you are supposed
Okay.
to just do 2 wires, but for what this is, 4 or 5 wires together is fine.
Perfect.
So if you just bend them over in half, and then I have just anchor taped them, just see to the inside of the box.
Yeah.
See there?
Yeah.
And then if I do a little hook at the end of the wire, it's just when I go to insert it into the flowers foam, it just makes it more secure.
Okay.
So the idea is that these wires, the support wires, are going to go down into our floral foam, and you see the effect that we get then. But I won't
Okay.
do that till I have a lot of the flowers in. So we're going to have a little competition here. We're going to do the 2 of them together at the
Okay.
same time. When people get hydrangeas, you have a fabulous pink one. What's the variety of that?
Pink Verena.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
It
so
is absolutely gorgeous.
Just don't be careful with hydrangeas, because you might ask for Verena, but Verena might come in 4 or 5 different colours, depending on the soil type it's grown in, depending on the grower. So make
So
sure
that's like the variety of them, but the
Yeah,
colour could be
especially for
different.
hydrangeas, they're very sensitive to conditions
That's
as
right,
to what
yeah.
colours they take on. So make sure if you're ever ordering, make sure you specify what type of colour you want.
Right. Now I find people might have complaints about hydrangea, and you bought them in and then you find within a couple of hours they're starting to go a little bit, you know, tired looking.
Yeah.
Tricks are remove most of the foliage. That's what I do. Remove most of the foliage. That definitely, you know what I mean, pushes all the water to the head. Cut a good bit off the end, inch,
Yeah.
2 inches, cut on a slant, it opens up a bigger hole. For anybody that's in a flower shop, you can have, and most people think what I'm going to tell you now sounds completely wrong, right? But I've often had hydrangeas, I've done everything to them, and I still look at them and I say, oh my God, like they're looking a bit tired looking. You might even find as a supplier, people might ring you up complaining and saying, oh God, them hydrangeas are dead, right? I'm telling you, if you try this trick, it works. Get a vase and warm it up with boiling water. So boil your kettle, place some water into the vase, swish it around as if you were heating up the teapot to make a cup of tea. That's the whole idea. And then empty that water out. And then fill the vase halfway with boiling water. So literally boiling water. Recut the end of the hydrangea stems. Maybe they've been in cold water already. So just recut the end of them. Place them in the boiling water forever and ever and ever. In other words, not 25 seconds, not 1 minute, not 1 hour. Leave them in the boiling water until you're ready to use them. So if it's an hour, 2 hours, 24 hours or 36 hours, it's absolutely amazing. Cut the hydrangea fairly short. So I have this kind of like vintagey purpley colour one. There we go, And so again, cut on a slant, cut fairly short, maybe a tiny bit, but then your box is a little bit deeper than mine because you have the larger size. That'll do fine. Again, you can hold it whatever way is comfortable for you. There's no holding on top this time. And just place it near the front, near the edge. You know what I mean? That the petal or a tiny little bit of foliage is just kind of overlapping the edge of it there. That's fine. And just push it down. Now already that looks gorgeous, doesn't it? Okay, so then I think you haven't got an allium, and okay, we'll go for the pineapples. You have 2 pineapples there.
Ananas.
So 2 of these, 2 little mini pineapples. Now, if you're going to use 2 of them, maybe keep one a little bit taller than the other. Yours are nearly the same size. One of mine is slightly smaller, so I'm going to use the slightly smaller one on top. So I'm just going to measure them there, just kind of like stagger them, and then cut the 2 of them just that little bit shorter. Now already, again, that can look really, really well.
Gorgeous,
Now, like at home, you can substitute them for whatever flowers you choose. Maybe you have hydrangeas in your own garden, depending on the time of the year. If you do that trick I said earlier on, and then place them into the foam, they will last for ages. But maybe you picked up a bunch of flowers in the shop and you have chrysanthemums or carnations or roses. You can use anything. That's fine, and just push that one down, just another little bit there.
Okay.
That's absolutely fine. So now we're looking for another space, and we're going to use some roses. So you have you have a really cute rose there. What's that rose called?
Very cute. Well done. Great segue. Yeah.
And my one is Memory Lane. Just kind of keeping to the kind of like more old-fashioned colours in my one.
Again, on this now, would you?
The guard
take off the
petals,
guard
yeah.
petals,
Some people like to remove the guard petals and just kind of go around the outside of the rose and just pick off the guard petals there. So I'm going to use maybe 3 of these. Okay. So pick down that little bit lower because your box is deeper. Remove the bottom leaves, and then I'm just going to place these 3 roses in, and I'm keeping them close together. So this is what you would call a grouped style arrangement. Okay. So again, we have our hydrangeas, we have our roses, and we have our pineapples. And just to show you Brian's basket or box, and again, he'll probably go for in that space there. He'll place his go to drink water. They obviously have a bigger section, to take the water up, so it's much easier. That's gorgeous, yeah. They are really cute, aren't they?
They are, they're nice. They're lovely rose.
My one first, and then just basically give it a good push down into it, like good press. There we go, that wasn't bad. And then you see I can go back then and fill in the spaces afterwards. Now the worst that can happen is the wires can buckle, so it's not a big deal. I'm only slagging when I said you only get one chance.
No pressure.
No pressure. But a bit of pressure with your hand.
Yeah.
That's it, you have it. Perfect. Because that's something when people buy these boxes, they'll be wondering, how am I going to get the lid? You know that
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. View which side of the lily looks better. And the great thing about lilies, like by leaving some of the buds on, when the open lily is gone, you still have another flower then to open. Again, if you hadn't got hydrangeas, 1 or 2 big open lily heads there would have taken its place. Cut the stems, longish, that you can kind of reach into the box, but have the flower heads kind of facing out that you're actually seeing them. Do you know that way? Yep. And again, I'm placing the 3 of them into my arrangement and just lifting the head slightly so I can kind of get in there. And I'll just turn it around, and I have to say that's looking gorgeous if I say so myself. And there's our 3 Germanies. You see, kind of like recessed, just that press down that little bit lower into the arrangement. You might have to kind of tilt the head slightly, the lid I meant to say, slightly just to get at it. Yeah.
It just goes so much further for you.
And then I find if you've any left over, hang it upside down.
Dries out,
you know that way.
Yeah,
and even though it mightn't sound right, you could mix some of the dried status in with some of your fresh flowers, and to be honest, to the eye it looks perfect. Yeah. So just around the side of mine where you have a gap as well, again I'm just kind of bringing my hand in, I just cut it up into a couple of little sprigs there, and just bring some little group of status over to this. Because your box is that little bit larger, it's deeper to recess the flowers down into it. Now again, if you didn't want to use any more flowers, or you hadn't got any more flowers, you could put some greenery into it instead. I see you brought some eucalyptus. It's like so unusual, this eucalyptus. Which one is this?
Gorgeous.
This
it's called Baby Blue.
Baby Blue,
again, it's Italian grown, but
really,
you get
nice.
Gorgeous Irish eucalyptus as well, grown locally.
Yeah, but that would be lovely in a modern arrangement, coming up for a little bit of height.
Smell off that as well.
Scent off it. Like I was cutting some short bits there, and when I was peeling off the bottom foliage, the scent of it was lovely. To be more economical, you could use a lot less flowers, leave more space in between them, and fill in any little gaps with greenery. So here we go. I think I'd be happy enough with that. Plenty of flowers in it. I think the customer would be really happy. And that would be something like happy birthday, happy anniversary, I love you, congratulations on your baby, Mother's Day, Valentine's Day, Christmas.
Absolutely.
And you could even sneak a little engagement ring in there if you were proposing to somebody. You can get